Book summary of The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. Introduction. A shocking number of USA citizens are in poor financial health. 88% of graduating college students have credit card debts before they need jobs. 60% of USA citizens don't pay off their monthly MasterCard bills. And 49% of Yank families only have enough savings to last but 1 month if they lose their household income. The entire Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey debunks modern myths about money and debt, and provides a proven step-by-step guide to assist you become debt-free and wealthy. During this summary, we'll outline the foundations and 7-step plan for your total money makeover. If you embrace these ideas and implement the steps consistently, you'll become financially healthy and transform your life. The greater a part of this exhortation is nonsense, yet a number of it isn't. This outline presents a basic and direct arrangement hooked into counsel from recognized monetary master Dave Ramsey. If you follow his arrangement, you'll have a more noteworthy possibility of getting your funds all together and getting monetarily secure. That's arriving at monetary wellness, something we as an entire long for. Lesson number 1. Your monetary security may be a fantasy, and it's the perfect opportunity for you to form a move. Would you say you're monetarily agreeable? An outsized number of folks have a way of safety enough in our accounts, albeit we as an entire could utilize a few of additional dollars. You presumably have some work, and perhaps a vehicle and house, and monetary challenges, consequently, appear to be far, far away. Yep, no matter how secure you'll feel as of now, monetary frailty could be nearer than you would possibly suspect. Envision you unexpectedly lose your employment. What might you do? Would you've got the choice to require care of your bills? Impossible. Monetary security is usually more deceptive than we'd suspect. Take the creator's customer Sarah as an example. After her marriage, she and her wife determined their joint yearly pay to be quite $75,000, and that they had a few of obligation commitments among them. Feeling good with their profit and their obligation, they continued to require out a huge home equity credit on their home. In any case, that's okay, correct? They might manage the value of it. Or on the opposite hand, right? One day Sarah found that she was losing her $45,000 per year work. Unexpectedly, they confronted abandonment on the house. As for Sarah's situation, abrupt monetary difficulties can put us rapidly in critical waterways. How would we be ready to respond? One approach to remain far away from disagreeable astonishments is by making the move before it's past the purpose of no return. Change things now. It's simple to not feel this desire to maneuver quickly, to think rather that you simply can just keep it up until things go bad, and afterward change. Be that because it may, this is often flippant. Monetary challenges now and again sneak up on you, and before you recognize it, you're during a difficult situation. It resembles the notorious frog within the pot of water. Because the water gradually warms up, the frog doesn't understand that it's being bubbled alive and can allow itself to expire. This is what's befalling you at the present. Your monetary security might be gradually falling around you, and you've got no clue. It's a perfect opportunity to roll out an improvement. Lesson number 2. Debt is treated as an unavoidable truth, yet we'd like to perceive its limitations and risks. In our advanced world, we are continually urged to travel out and buy stuff, a house, a vehicle, a big TV, and so on. Furthermore, how precisely would we are saying we should always buy all of those things that we basically should have? With credit, obviously. Obligation today is so instilled in our way of life that it's difficult to see living without it. You presumably have an honest measure of obligation yourself, no matter whether as educational loans, a home equity credit, credit card obligation, or vehicle installments. Personal tip: I'm unsure if this is often Ramsey's approach here, but I'd start with taking 10% of my income to pay down debt. Regardless of what proportion or how little you earn, you'll, hopefully, take 10% far away from it without losing any essential financial capability, like having the ability to pay your rent. Truth be told, The requirement is so inserted in our general public that one among the creator's customers felt alright with having $72,000 owing debtors on an investment property and $35,000 on visas and understudy loans. Even though the requirement is by all accounts ever present, it's by no means the thanks to monetary bliss, and rather drives on to monetary trouble. Take quite possibly the four most widely known sorts of obligation: the MasterCard. Charge cards, which feel basically like free cash, give clients amazing spending power. Over the end of the day, be that because it may, they will hurt our monetary strength. Truth be told, as per the American Bankruptcy Institute, 69% of people who seek financial protection say it had been caused by their Visa obligation. Curiously, while numerous individuals use obligation to form the presence of abundance, truly rich individuals will generally dodge obligation. Truth be told, 75% of people on the Forbes 400 rundown said the foremost ideal approach to assemble abundance is to become and remain obligation-free. Furthermore, probably the simplest organizations, from Walgreens and Cisco to Harley-Davidson, are run obligation-free. If these organizations and other people can discover accomplishment without the load of obligation, at that time wouldn't we be ready to do likewise? Lesson number 3, Stage 1 on the thanks to monetary wellness includes making a crisis starter reserve. Up so far, we've found out one route to not build up monetary security: attempting to spend our approach to progress utilizing credit. So how would we be ready to respond? You'll need to begin by making a touch-by-bit plan that diagrams the course to monetary wellness. Albeit you realize you would like to vary how you approach your accounts, you ought to likewise understand that you simply can't make an enormous difference immediately. All things being equal, you need to help yourself out of continuous gradually, each little advance successively. Simply think, if you needed to eat an elephant, you wouldn't think to aim to try to everything simultaneously. You'd begin perhaps with a foot every day, moving ultimately to the storage compartment. At that time the body, eating step by step. You need to adopt an identical strategy together with your funds. On the off chance that you simply plan to assault various zones at an equivalent time, as an example, your home equity credit, MasterCard, and 401k, at that time, you'll weaken your endeavors and, at last, fall flat. During this way, go lethargic and take little nibbles. In any case, where does one start? The initial tread on your total money makeover is to grow a starter secret stash, a $1,000 piece put to the side if there should be an event of a stormy day. Personal tip: because keeping debt is costlier than not having the cash you save to spend, I'd initially spend more towards paying down debt and fewer on savings, for instance, 10% on reducing debt, as mentioned above, and another 5% of your income can enter growing your emergency fund. Truth be told, Money Magazine gauges that 78% folks will encounter a big negative life occasion, like an unforeseen pregnancy or vehicle issue, in some random 10-year time frame. You'll got to be ready for when this happens. And keeping in mind that $1,000 won't cover that much, it's, in any case, a helpful beginning and can lessen the probability of venturing into the red. Be that because it may, recollect, this asset is simply for crises, and on the off chance that you simply got to take anything from it, you need to supplant it at the earliest opportunity. Lesson number 4, Stages 2 and 3, start taking care of your obligations each successively and, when you're prepared, develop your crisis starter store. When you have your crisis starter store found out, you're on the way to turning your account around. Presently it's a perfect opportunity to line everything straight. Stage 2 of the entire money makeover is to form an obligation snowball. Everybody realizes that if you start rolling a touch snowball along the bottom, it will, instantly by any means, transform into an authentic snowstone. Something very similar happens once you look out of your obligations. Here's the ticket: start by posting all of your obligations arranged by size, from your minuscule phone bill to your enormous home equity credit. At that time it's a perfect opportunity to quit joking about taking care of them, beginning with the tiniest. Because the little obligations begin to fade, you'll get motivated to handle those greater, trickier obligations. After you've begun moving your obligation snowball, it's a perfect opportunity to show your consideration back to your just-in-case account. The objective of Stage 3 is to develop your backup stash with the goal that it could cover your costs for a 3.5-year period. Everybody has diverse spending needs, so this number isn't fixed. Notwithstanding, it frequently goes from $5,000 to $25,000. To form things more concrete, if your family acquires $3,000 monthly, expect to save lots of $10,000 or considerably more. Presently, suppose you succeeded and have a greater secret stash. You'll see that this provides you the knowledge to proceed on the way toward independence from the routine. If, as you're taking care of your obligations, you would like to utilize a couple of, or maybe all, of your investment and retirement reserves, you'll have a secret stash which will cover you for an outsized portion of the year. That allows you to maneuver on safely and unquestionably. Lesson number 5. Stage 4. Invest 15% of your pay in common assets to accommodate yourself in retirement. Everybody has large stresses over the monetary circumstance they'll take care of retirement. We ask ourselves, will we've sufficient cash to measure easily in our brilliant years? To beat such feelings of dread, we attend Stage 4 of the entire money makeover. A stately and secure retirement will expect you to contribute 15% of your pay. Albeit this might appear to be an excellent deal, there are various reasons why it merits putting to the side that kind of money. First off, mature age basically wouldn't be any fun if you needed to depend upon others to stay proud of living. This is often particularly evident on the off chance that you simply expect to measure off government annuity plans. Once you reach retirement age, the chances of our maladroit government accommodating an honorable life are unimportant. It tends to be enticing to lie to the side less for retirement with the goal that you simply can zero in on things like your youngster's school store or rapidly squaring away the house loan. However, your children's degrees won't look out of significantly quite once you resign, and such an outsized number of senior residents sleep in a paid-for house with no discretionary cash flow. Whenever you've got focused on taking care of 15% of your pay, where precisely wouldn't it be an honest idea for you to contribute it? For the simplest returns, the creator suggests shared assets. Since forever, the Securities Exchange midpoints slightly below 12% in returns. Common finances exploit this pattern and accordingly choose for a tremendous decision for end-of-the-day speculation. One tip is to settle on reserves that have a robust history of winning for over 5 years, preferably for quite 10. Attempt to enhance your speculations across different assets to ensure productivity. Here's another acceptable standard to follow. Distribute 25% to development and paid, or blue chip, reserves, 25% to development, or value, reserves, 25% to global assets, and therefore the last 25% to forceful assets, i.e., less secure ones, however, can give more significant yields. Lesson number 6. Stage 5. On the off chance that you simply need your child to line off for school, plan for them to arrive obligation-free. Practically every parent fantasizes about sending their kid to high school, and various guardians are found out to release themselves and their youngsters into an obligation to subsidize this fantasy. However, as we've effectively talked about, the requirement is to be evaded regardless of what. Subsidizing school with obligation ought to not be viewed as an inexpensive choice. A school advance will hamper your kid for an extended, long time. The present age of understudies has procured the moniker age obligation. All things considered, they advance from school with a traditional of $25 thousands to $27 thousands within the red, and it's not disappearing at any point shortly. So how could you buy school? One way is to win a grant or to only put aside up enough money to require care of everything. However, there's another way, utilizing an education bank account, ESA, and subsidizing it during the development stock shared asset. If you somehow manage to place $2 thousands per annum during a prepaid educational cost plan, from the introduction of your kid until their 18th birthday celebration, you'd finish up with $72 thousands worth of educational cost. Notwithstanding, if you rather utilized an ESA financed by shared assets, which normal 12%, you'd have $126 thousands to spend on instruction and everyday costs. Furthermore, as long as you utilize this record to pay instruction expenses, the cash is tax exempt. However, even with this alternative, you ought to determine if education are some things correct to place resources into for your kid. In his book Emotional Intelligence, about fruitful individuals, Daniel Goleman states that alone 15% of progress are often ascribed to preparing and schooling. The leftover 85% is credited to mentality, steadiness, tirelessness, and vision. These last characteristics will take you tons further in life than some piece of paper with the words degree scribbled thereon. So does your child got to attend a university? Assuming arriving implies straying into the red, positively not. Lesson number 7. Stage 6 is popping Bentley without obligation by taking care of the best credit of all, your home equity credit. So how long have you ever been taking care of your home loan? Frequently, they require a really while to eventually result. Stage 6 of the entire money makeover is tied in with taking care of it immediately. For an excellent many of us, this is often the last obstacle on their thanks to monetary wellness, and taking care of it'll leave them obligation-free. Notwithstanding, numerous traps can keep you from completing your home equity credit. You want to evade them. For instance, you'll hear it proposed that you simply need to get cash against your home, exploiting low loan costs and putting your take advantage the securities exchange. Yet, this is often horrendous counsel. Envision, speculatively, that you simply get $100 thousands against your home at an 8% premium and put it in stocks with a 12% return. During this situation, you remain to form $12 thousands in benefit. Within the wake of paying the interest on your home equity credit, for this example, $8 thousands, you'd have the solid $4 thousands extra. Not all that awful. In any case, that doesn't reflect all the expenses and charges that go connected at the hip with playing the financial exchange. Eventually, you're left with around $1 thousands. Barely great for a very colossal danger. Another misguided judgment is that it's feasible to need a 30-year contract with the guarantee to repay it in 15 years. In any case, you'll unavoidably run into costs that take you off kilter: high warming bills, canine inoculations, exhausted youngsters, etc. Also, on the off chance that they aren't constrained by law to try to do intrinsically, practically nobody at any point makes the extra installments important to require care of credit that rapidly. Be that because it may, it's frequently better to only take a more limited home equity credit call at any case. In contrast with a 30-year contract at 7%, a 15-year home equity credit will acquire you reserve funds of $150 thousands throughout the house loan. Consider how you'll manage that kind of money. Lesson number 8. Stage 7. Follow your arrangement and spend, and part with, your cash on the off chance that you simply have it. Now, you're directly near the precarious fringe of monetary wellness. You're on the last leg of your excursion, with just one last advance to travel. When you are sans obligation and have began to put something aside for your future, it's a perfect opportunity to fireside developing your abundance. Encircle yourself with specialists, individuals like expense counsels, CPAs, bequest arranging lawyers, then forth, who offers you sound guidance on how you would like to manage your cash. Also, regardless, adhere to your arrangement. As you develop more seasoned, you'll finish up more slanted to reply to little changes on the lookout, particularly if you dread a slump is approaching. In any case, don't worry. These little blips aren't anything contrasted with the market's pattern of long-haul development. At long last, comprehend that monetary wellness doesn't mean living sort of a Scrooge. Fiddle together with your cash once you can. Fun may be a pivotal component of the entire money makeover. Wouldn't it be an honest idea for anyone to wear a $30 thousands watch? Drive a $50 thousands vehicle? Or but sleep in a $700 thousands home? Totally. Be that because it may, just if they will manage the value of them. You need to work out the way to undergo your cash just on what you'll bear and fail to recollect the remainder. Whenever the right chance presents itself, you need to likewise be found out to spare your cash. Parting with cash is similarly just about as fun as spending it, and may be significantly seriously fulfilling. It feels great being liberal, however, you would like to possess before you'll give. Finally, you've finished your excursion to independence from the routine. Presently it's a perfect opportunity to understand it, living in solace, bliss, and security. The Total Money Makeover, a proven plan for financial fitness by Dave Ramsey. Review: for the overwhelming majority, monetary security is minimal, quite an encouraging figment. Notwithstanding, you'll turn your monetary circumstance around by following 7 gradual steps that put you on the thanks to an obligation-free and monetarily fruitful life. Figure out the way to keep it up together with your own life. You likely have a couple of companions who seem, by all accounts, to be wealthy. However, many individuals have all the earmarks of being showing improvement over there. Obligation takes into consideration this deception, yet it'll within the end disintegrate underneath them. So don't quantify yourself against your companions. Hey, thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe because more incredible content is on the way.
Did you like this audiobook summary? Click the like button now to support our channel, and click subscribe if you want to get notified each time we post a new free audiobook summary on YouTube.